Welcome to the Coach's Corner. We are here at the Tivoli Tap House, a great place for beer and a great place for food. I'm Tony Almanza, and alongside me is David Moreno. David, who do we have on the show today?
We'll have track and field head coach Janis Christopher on the show to talk about her team's performance at the RMAC Championships. We'll bring on Tanya Haave from the women's basketball team as they prepare for the upcoming matchup against Mesa in the RMAC tournament tomorrow. And we'll get to chat with Georgia Ohrdorf, senior, just named RMAC Player of the Week from the women's basketball team.
RMAC playoff time is a fun time of the year, but before we bring on our first guest, we want to give you a recap of what happened this past weekend in Roadrunner sports. We'll start with some indoor track and field. The RMAC Championships took place in Golden, Colorado, and our Roadrunners competed great against the RMAC's best. A few of the performances that stood out were, of course, Michael DK, who finished 5th overall in the 60-meter dash crossing line in a time of 6.93 seconds. The men's 4x400-meter relay team placed 6th overall, while the women's distance medley relay team finished 5th. Visit roadrunnerathletics.com for the entire results from the meet.
Our women's basketball team is one of the hottest teams in the RMAC tournament right now. And they continued their great play, finishing out the regular season with 2 more wins. They defeated Colorado Christian Friday thanks to 24 points from Georgia Ohrdorf and a season-high 17 points from Michaela Gordon. On Saturday, it was a matchup that pitted 2 top 4 teams against one another. The Roadrunners took care of business against Colorado School of Mines to secure that second spot to host first-round playoff action at home. MSU Denver out-rebounded the top rebounding team in the conference 47-29 to finish out the regular season with a 17-5 record. Up next, Coach Haave and her team will host Colorado Mesa in the first round of the RMAC tournament.
Now for the men, they split their final regular season weekend defeating Colorado Christian, but coming up just short against Colorado Mines. Cameron Williams did his thing, scoring 25 points in the 82-63 win over the Cougars on Friday. Saturday night's game was a back-and-forth affair that came down to the final moments. The Ore Diggers hit a three-pointer late to put the Mines up by 3. After Williams hit a layup and after Mines missed a free throw, the Roadrunners had a chance with 6 seconds left. They had a great look, but it doesn't fall. MSU finished with a 14-8 RMAC record and will head to Alamosa, Colorado on Tuesday night to take on Adams State in the first round of the RMAC tournament.
The baseball team took on a tough opponent this past weekend, facing off against number 10 Lubbock Christian. Dylan Nelson blasted a 3-run home run to tie game 1 at 4. But the Chaps would go on and win by a final of 6-4. Hunter Hogaboom pitched great in this one, giving up just 1 earned run in 6 innings of work. The Roadrunners will welcome in CSU Pueblo this weekend to open up conference play.
And finally, the softball team hit the road to Pueblo to take on the Thunderwolves. They actually wrapped up the series today, and the Roadrunners took 2 of 4 from CSU Pueblo. Both wins came today, including an 8-4 decision in Game 1. Darby McGee earned the win, striking out 5 T-Wolves, while the offense was provided by Kristen Peters, who went 3 for 4, driving in 2 runs. Coach Van Wetzinga and her squad will continue their conference schedule this weekend in Colorado Springs. Now we welcome in head coach of the track and field team, Janis Christopher. Coach, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Last weekend, your squad took part in the RMAC Championships. What was your message to the team before you competed in your first event last Friday?
Our message was similar to what we've been saying all year. You know, you got to go out there and take a risk and put yourself in a position to move up and just compete in whatever heat you're in. It doesn't matter if you're the best one or supposed to be the best one or not. Get out there and do what you've been doing all season and compete to the best of your ability.
On Friday, women's soccer team came in to support and scream for Alden in her 5,000-meter race. How cool was it to see them out there cheering on your team?
Oh, it was amazing. This is my 5th year on staff here, and my 2nd only as the head coach. But that was the first time we've actually had some of the other sports at one of our events, and it was awesome. And have them out there chanting for Alden and giving her the support. It was huge. It was nice to feel like we had family that was there supporting us. Yeah.
The meet took place at the Colorado School of Mines, a place you've competed at a few times this season. How much does it help to have that experience to compete in a place you're familiar with?
It definitely can help. I think there's some situations where they know how hard it is to run there. It's a small track, and so there are definitely some challenges that come with that. And so for the most part, they know what to expect from the track. They know the size. They know how they have to run on that oval. And so there's definitely a benefit than if we had come in for the first time. And so from the first time we competed there until the last time, which was last weekend, definitely a difference. So a benefit to us that they know what to expect from that size of a track.
Let's talk about your thoughts on the men's side. All season, we've been hearing the names Michael Decay and Saeed Moreno. How did they perform this past weekend?
Both of them came in ranked at a certain spot, and each of them was able to move up. Michael came in ranked 7th in the 60 as well as the 400, and he finished 5th in both of those. The 60 was immediately following the 400, and so he was fatigued, and he was able to run in the finals. He was able to run at the same time in the 60 that he ran in the preliminary. So just a testament to the strength of that athlete, and the fact that really truly he is a 400-meter runner. And so looking forward to see what he can do outdoor in that event. And Saeed Moreno is my junior, and I asked him to do some stuff that I knew that he could do because I've been training him long enough. I've been with him since he was a freshman. So I asked him to run the 400 meters in the distance medley relay. I asked him to run the prelims of the 400 meter before that, and then come back the next day and run the finals of the 400 and the 4x4 relay. And he did amazing, and he did exactly what I knew he could do. He dug deep, and even though it hurt and it was painful, he was able to run some pretty similar times in all 4 of those 400-meter races. And again, he came in ranked, I think, 12th in the 400 and finished 7th and scored a couple points for us. So both those guys, they met my expectations. I mean, I think, like I said, outdoor season is going to bring even bigger things for both of them.
How about the women? It seemed like the distance medley relay team ran well at the meet.
They ran amazing, yeah. I mean, we hadn't run that event this year, and we had come in hoping that, they were going to come in and get maybe a point or two, and they pulled it together, and they competed. My freshman, Michaela Renfro, in the 400 meters, there was a point in time where there was a girl right on her shoulder, and she fought her off, and she made sure that she maintained the lead that we had over that team. And, all of them went out and ran. Jessie Chappa did a fantastic job in the 800 meters, probably ran the best 800 as far as, racing. I've seen her run all season. Our leadoff, Sabrina Rauter, in the 1200, really, she set the tone for everybody. And then Erica closed it up for us and fought very, very hard. When we asked her to go, she went and was able to secure that 5th place finish for us. So, for them to be able to score 4 points for our team, our only 4 points, it turns out. Alden missed by 1 spot, getting us a point in that 5K. But yeah, they did a fantastic job. It was really fun to watch them and to be able to see them achieve what we knew it was possible for them.
So what's next for the track and field team? When does that outdoor season start?
Well, we have 3 weeks. Our first meet is actually on St. Patrick's Day. So that we've got 3 weeks to go out and work real hard. And it's a hard time for the athletes because we just came off of a peak, and so they were low volume and they felt pretty good. Their legs were nice, and now we got to go back to being a little bit tired. So 3 weeks until the outdoor season starts. We're hoping that it warms up a little bit so we're not freezing out there. But yeah, definitely excited to see what's next.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us here today. Best of luck to you and your team moving forward.
Thank you so much for having me.
So before we take our first break, we want to give you our tweet of the week. And it's a great photo. Our women's soccer team showing their amazing support for the track and field team. They are also surrounding Alden Grubel after her 5,000-meter race. All those RMAC Championships. Always great to see sports programs representing one another, especially in those big games and or meets. We've got to step away, but stay close. We'll chat women's basketball with women's head coach Tanya Haave.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Metropolitan State University of Denver nurtures student aspiration and empowers lifelong success through personal attention and professional experience in an inclusive environment. Located in the heart of downtown Denver, the university offers broad access to a transformative undergraduate and graduate education on Colorado's most diverse college campus. And as a gateway to opportunity, MSU Denver advances the intellectual, social, cultural, and economic well-being of Denver and beyond.
I'm Janis Horton, senior guard for the women's basketball team.
Horton swishes the long two, and it's a three-point lead.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Jalen Smith, junior guard for the women's basketball team.
And the Roadrunners coming back in transition. Smith all the way to the rack, coast to coast.
And you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. We have Coach here, but before we talk to her, we want to tell you about a special event that's going on here at the Tivoli Tap House. And that's weekly Tuesday trivia brought to you by the MSU Denver Masters Department. Tomorrow will be the first night, and it will go from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the design of the games are made so you can come and go as you please. This week, the first round will be a written portion, and the second round will be in audio form. So come on down to the Tivoli Tap House for a great trivia, fun, and great beer. So now we welcome in women's head coach, Tanya Haave. Coach, thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, as always, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
First off, congratulations on finishing second in the RMAC and for earning a first-round playoff game at home. How excited are you that it's playoff time?
Oh, we're super excited. Our team, you know, they deserved it. They worked so hard, and they deserve this first round to be able to host a first-round game. It's been a few years since we've been able to do that, so we're super, super excited.
Let's quickly look back on this past weekend's games. You gave Colorado Christian fits all game long on Friday night. You forced 20 turnovers and turned those turnovers into 24 points. Seemed like that was the big difference in the game.
Oh, yeah, it was a huge difference, and we kind of felt like that we could, you know, we've been focusing on our defense and rebounding here in the last few weeks, and it's starting to show up in some of the stats, but we really felt like we could put some ball pressure on them. We hadn't pressed in a few weeks, so we were able to press, and so we did be able, and it was really great to see us to be able to convert those turnovers into points. But basically the difference in the game at that point.
Then you took on Karl Mace on Saturday, a team that was also fighting for a top seed in the RMAC. It was close for about 3 quarters, then you blew it open. It looks like the confidence of your team is at the high level right now.
Yeah, our team psyche, I guess if you will, is in a good spot, and we're just really doing a great job of staying in the moment, focusing on the little details, and just taking things as they come. Whether we're up or we're down or whatever it is, it's like, oh, let's just focus on that next play. So, because it was a huge game for Mines as well. We were both playing. We had already clinched a home spot, but we still wanted that number 2 seed. We didn't want to be a 4 seed, and they were fighting to host. So it was a huge game for both teams, and for our team to come out, especially on senior night, can be a little bit emotional. We were a little too fired up, I think, in that first quarter. But to be able to come back from that and win that game for our seniors is really special.
So talking about senior night, you celebrated your seniors this weekend. A few of those seniors were girls that you built your program around in Georgia Ohrdorf, Janis Horton, Emily Hardigan, Can you talk to us about this class and how special they are because of the roles they played on this team?
Well, they stuck through us. I mean, they are the foundation of us rebuilding to where we were a few years ago, getting back to being top 4 in the conference. So I don't know if words could explain how special they are and the work that they put in, because they didn't have anyone showing them the way. They had to create that way. So for them to be able to do that and then to see their hard work pay off for them is really satisfying. It's especially satisfying for our coaching staff to see that, because we stuck through them, especially David and I. You know, we've been here through the thick and thin with them, see them through their ups and see them through their downs and tell them it was going to be okay and they were going to get through it, and then to see this breakthrough is really great.
You pictured the senior class helping to build a great foundation for women's basketball, and here you are 3 and 4 years later as the #2 seed in the RMAC tournament with an opportunity to make the NCAA tournament. How amazing is it to see your vision come to life?
Oh, it's so fun. It's fun and it's satisfying. And even for us, for the coaching staff, for everybody in our program to see all their hard work pay off, it's just fun, and so happy for my staff and the players that are in the program right now. So it's a fun time of year. It goes back to those first few years that we were here at Metro, where we were in the NCAA tournament. It's just a fun time of year, and even makes me think back to my playing days at Tennessee, when it was just so fun to be in the NCAA tournament. And you think of all those times. It's springtime, March. You know, spring is in the air. The whole March Madness, everything about that is true. So we want to, you know, while we're going to be intense, we don't want to be too tense, and we want to be able to enjoy this too. And I think we're doing a good job of that so far.
So now let's talk playoffs. You will host Colorado Mesa Tuesday night at 6. It'll be the 3rd time you've played the Mavericks this season. Give our audience a little preview on your first round opponent.
Well, we beat them at their place, and then they beat us here, but both games that we played against them, our first halves haven't been great against them. So that's been a focus today in practice. It was a main focus. Hey, we've got to play 4 quarters against them. This is a really good team. They're much better than their record shows. It's a tough first round opponent for us, a really tough first round opponent for us. They run their sets. They're led by their 2 guards, Aaron Reichley and Jalen Duran. They both are averaging 15, 16 points a game. But they run their sets. They run a lot of screens. So we're going to have to be ready. But I think that on our home floor in a first round home game, I think we're going to be ready. But they're going to be tough. They execute offensively very, very well.
We'll chat with one of those seniors in Georgia Ohrdorf later on the show. You've seen her from freshman year to senior year. What are some of your thoughts as you think about that progression over 4 years from the Australian native?
I just think she's really embraced the leadership. The leadership was what she wasn't really comfortable with at first, but we've had a lot of conversations. She's had a lot of conversations with my assistant, David Wells, about that leadership. And the biggest thing from Georgia is to see the consistency that she's been able to bring night in and night out. And she's able to do that in practice. So that translates from practice, being consistent in practice, to being consistent in games. And just to kind of watch her mature as a person off the floor. You know, it's hard to come over to a different country and a different culture and a different way of basketball, different coaching style, and do all that. And so she's done that for 4 years. So to see that growth in her, both as a basketball player and as a person, I mean, these last 6 weeks, she has been playing like a player of the year, a conference player of the year candidate. So to see her be able to do that and just kind of have that quiet confidence and quiet calm about her has been really nice.
Yeah, and she really deserves it. She just won Player of the Week. So
I know. I just found that out after practice, that she won the Offensive Player of the Week. But she truly has been playing like a Player of the Year these last 6 weeks, and we'll find out tomorrow. Hopefully that she'll get that. She would be very deserving candidate for that.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for hanging out with us here today.
Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Well, best of luck to you and your squad as you guys head towards the playoffs or tomorrow night.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Go Roadrunners.
As we mentioned, we'll have senior all-conference forward Georgia Ohrdorf coming up next on the Coach's Corner.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge.
Here at MSU Denver.
To stop sexual harassment.
To identify situations
in which sexual assault may occur.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
It's on us.
All of us.
To get a friend home safely.
It's on us to be a part of the solution.
And not part of the problem.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I'm Janis Squires-Horton, senior guard for the women's basketball team.
Squires-Horton swishes the long two, and it's a 3-point lead.
When you're watching the Coach's Corner, get rowdy.
I'm Georgia Ohrdorf, senior forward for the women's basketball team.
And now it's Georgia Ohrdorf driving to the rim and gets another easy layup.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
And before we talk to the amazing Georgia Ohrdorf, we want to make sure that you know that you can watch our baseball team and softball team live all season long. You can find the video links at roadrunnerathletics.com. The Metro State Broadcast Network is out there for the majority of games, and you can catch all your favorite players in action absolutely free on Stretch Internet. So find the schedules and tune in to catch every pitch and every hit from your softball and baseball teams. So now we say hello to Georgia Ohrdorf, the RMAC Player of the Week. Georgia, thanks for being here.
That's great to be here.
How excited are you to be back playing in the postseason? Do you get extra hype for the playoffs, or are you cool as a cucumber in the postseason?
We were just actually discussing this in the locker room. We had practice at 2 today, and my other senior, Janis Squires-Horton, she came in and she was like, I'm just so excited. And I was like, yeah, like this year it feels like we really have a good chance. Like we put ourselves in a really good position. Last year we made it to the postseason finally, my first time in the 4 years I'd been here. But this year, like we know where we're going, we're really focused, and it is really exciting. But I'm trying to keep my composure. I'm like one game at a time. But it gets you excited. You're like, we're in the postseason and we have a chance. So yeah.
Speaking of chances, your team went 10-3 at home this season, and because of that, you'll host first round playoff game tomorrow night on home court. What is it about playing at the Rary Event Center where your team plays just outstanding basketball?
Well, it helps that we practice there every day, but coaches always put a big emphasis on defending our home floor, and it's really important for us, for like the fans and everyone in the organization, that we really deliver, especially on our home floor. And I don't know, you have that touch around the rim, and you just know the floor really well, and you get really hyped with your fans in the stands. And I think, yeah, we did a really good job this year of controlling the home floor, and I hope we continue to do that.
Your first round opponent will be Karl Mace, a team you played twice already. You actually lost to them at home in your last meeting. So do you go in with a little chip on your shoulder to get some revenge, or is it more about doing what you've been doing and that is what will lead you to victory, or is it both?
A little bit of both, I'd say. There is that little bit of we want to beat them on our home floor, but there's also just that feeling like we have changed completely as a team from that last game. That was 11 games ago. We were watching film today, and some of the things we did, some of the things I did, I was watching myself and I was like, why did you do that? Like, I know that I've kind of over that kind of mistakes now, so it's going to be exciting to see how we match up, because I feel like our team has just gotten miles better, but I mean, they've probably gotten better too, so it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Tell us what it was like out there on senior day. You've been here all 4 years, as you said. Your mom was out there in the crowd. Was there emotion out there for you, or were you locked into the game about what was about to take place?
So that initial, like, coming out with the family, I was kind of like, oh, you know, like, we have to play a game. And there was a little bit of emotion. Like, it was great to have my mom out there, especially because she completely surprised me. So I wasn't expecting to have her there. So that was really nice to have her. But it actually hit me after the game. Coach gave me a hug when I subbed out with, like, 2 minutes to go. And I was like, oh, wow, like, this is really happening. And then I just hugged one of my best friends, and I was like, oh, and then I looked at Emily Hardigan, and we both just like broke down for a hot second. We were like, what is happening? And she's like, why are you crying? I'm like, I don't know, why are you crying? It just kind of all hit us at once, but it's nice to know that we still have tomorrow's game on our home floor. It's kind of like senior night part 2, we're kind of calling it, so yeah.
So tell us some things that you've learned in your 4 years at MSU Denver, or about the people you've met. What are some things you'll remember most about being in downtown Denver?
So the people I've met have like made my journey, like from everyone from like the strength staff to all our coaches to all the media people like you guys, like every part of it has just been like a whirlwind. Like I can't pinpoint one moment. It's just, it's all built up, and it's going to be really sad for me to leave. Like I have built a family and everyone knows me really well, and it's been great playing for the Roadrunners. Like this school especially has like really taken me under their wing, and I'm just so happy that I got to play here for 4 years and I got to do as much as I did from a playing perspective and also like an education perspective. And yeah, downtown Denver's a beautiful place, and I'll definitely be an advocate for it in Australia. Like, oh yeah, you want to go to Denver? Yeah, go ahead. It's a great part of the world. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Give us your thoughts on Coach Haave and how she helped you through your time here in Colorado.
Yeah, Coach and I haven't always seen eye to eye. We got off to a bit of a rocky start, but she has really worked herself to kind of meet me halfway, and she's really helped me grow as a person and a basketball player. And I know that she'll always have my back, kind of thing. And I'll do anything for her, honestly. Like she's been there to support me and tell me it's going to be all right in those hard times when I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And yeah, she's really taken me under her wing, and yeah, she's a really important woman in my life. So yeah.
Well, Georgia, thanks for coming on the show. We wish you the best of luck in those playoffs starting Tuesday. Before we get on out of here, we'd like to bring you the upcoming schedule in this coming week in Roadrunner sports. As we mentioned, Georgia and her basketball team will be home on Tuesday night to take on Colorado Mesa in the first round of the RMAC tournament. If the Roadrunners advance to semifinals, and the finals will take place on Friday and Saturday night. If CSU Pueblo wins, the next round will be in Pueblo. If Pueblo loses and Metro wins, the Roadrunners will host the semis and the finals at the Auraria Event Center. How awesome would that be? The men's playoff run starts in Alamosa on Tuesday night, and they will take on Adams State. So we wish Coach Ball and the men's squad the best of luck in the RMAC tournament.
The baseball team is back home this weekend hosting CSU Pueblo for the first 4-game series that will start on Friday at 3 p.m. The softball team will continue their road trip heading to Colorado Springs to take on the Mountain Lions. They will play the double headers on both Saturday and Sunday, and finally the tennis teams will head on the road this week. They'll venture to Lawton, Oklahoma for matches against St. Mary's, Tarleton State, and Cameron University. Make sure to keep up with all your sports programs this weekend at roadrunnersathletics.com.
And make sure to come out and support Georgia and her teammates this Tuesday night for the first round of the RMAC tournament. They'll tip off at 6 p.m., so wear your blue and red for your Roadrunners. We want to thank Coach Christopher, Coach Haave, and Georgia for joining us today on the Coach's Corner. I also want to thank David for helping me do this.
No problem. Enjoy it.
So, I'm Tony Almanza. We'll see you next time on the Coach's Corner.